Hello, my dear friends. I am so happy to see you all today. I hope you are all comfortable and ready to hear a story. This story is about finding out who we really are. It is a story full of wonder, excitement, and deep feelings. It might even make you cry, but in a good way. Are you ready? Then let's begin. Once upon a time, in a small village, there was a little boy named Aaron. Aaron was not like the other children in the village. He was quiet and thoughtful. He often wondered about the world around him. He would sit by the river for hours, watching the water flow and asking himself, "Who am I?" This question was always in his mind, but he never knew the answer. Aaron had a special friend named Lila. Lila was a little bird with bright yellow feathers. She would visit Aaron every morning, chirping happily. Aaron loved Lila because she seemed to understand him. When he was sad or confused, Lila would sit on his shoulder as if to say, "You are not alone." Lila was Aaron's only friend, and he cherished her company. One day, Aaron decided to go on a journey. He wanted to find the answer to his question. He wanted to know who he really was. He packed a small bag with some food and water and set off on his adventure. As he walked through the forest, he heard the wind whispering in the trees. It was as if the forest knew his secret and was trying to help him. As Aaron walked deeper into the forest, he met an old man sitting by a fire. The old man had a long white beard and kind eyes. He smiled at Aaron and said, "You are looking for something, aren't you?" Aaron nodded and told the old man about his question. The old man listened carefully and then said, "The answer you seek is not far, but you must be brave to find it." The old man gave Aaron a small silver key. He told him that the key would open a door at the heart of the forest. Behind that door, Aaron would find the answer to his question. Aaron thanked the old man and continued on his journey. He was both excited and nervous. What would he find behind that door? As Aaron walked, the forest became darker and the path narrower. The trees seemed to close in around him, and strange sounds echoed through the air. But Aaron was determined. He held the key tightly in his hand and kept moving forward. After what felt like hours, he finally saw a small wooden door at the base of a large tree. Aaron's heart pounded as he approached the door. He hesitated for a moment, then took a deep breath and inserted the key into the lock. The door creaked open, revealing a dark, mysterious tunnel. Aaron stepped inside, his heart racing with anticipation. The tunnel was long and winding, and he could barely see in the darkness. As Aaron walked through the tunnel, he began to feel a strange sensation. It was as if the tunnel was alive, breathing with him. The walls seemed to pulse with energy, and he could hear faint whispers all around him. But he could not make out what they were saying. He kept walking, determined to reach the end. Finally, after what seemed like an eternity, Aaron saw a faint light ahead. He quickened his pace, eager to see what lay at the end of the tunnel. As he stepped into the light, he found himself in a beautiful garden. The air was filled with the sweet scent of flowers, and the sun shone brightly in the sky. It was a peaceful, magical place. In the center of the garden stood a large, ancient tree. Its branches stretched high into the sky, and its roots seemed to go deep into the earth. Aaron felt drawn to the tree as if it held the answers he had been seeking. He walked up to the tree and placed his hand on its rough bark. As he did, he felt a warmth spread through his body. Suddenly, the tree began to glow with a soft golden light. Aaron watched in awe as the light grew brighter and brighter until it enveloped him completely. He closed his eyes, feeling the warmth and light surround him. When he opened his eyes again, he found himself standing in a different place. Aaron was no longer in the garden. He was standing on the edge of a vast, endless ocean. The sky was filled with stars, and the moon shone brightly above. The waves gently lapped at the shore, and the sound of the ocean was soothing. Aaron felt a deep sense of peace as he stood there, looking out at the water. As he stood by the ocean, Aaron heard a voice. It was soft and gentle, like a whisper in the wind. The voice said, "Aaron, you have traveled far to find the answer to your question. But the answer is not in the forest, or in the key, or even in this ocean. The answer is within you." Aaron was confused. He did not understand what the voice meant. The voice continued, "You are not just a boy from a small village. You are not just a traveler on a journey. You are a part of everything you see around you. The forest, the garden, the ocean, they are all a part of you, just as you are a part of them." Aaron began to understand. He realized that he was connected to everything in the world. Aaron felt tears fill his eyes as he listened to the voice. It was as if all the pieces of his life were coming together. He realized that he was not alone, that he was never alone. He was a part of something much bigger, something beautiful and infinite. Aaron felt a deep sense of love and belonging, and his heart swelled with emotion. As the voice faded away, Aaron found himself back in the garden. The golden light was gone, but the feeling of peace and love remained. Aaron looked around at the beautiful flowers and trees, and he felt a deep connection to everything around him. He knew now that he was not just a boy, but a part of the world, a part of the universe. Aaron sat down beneath the ancient tree and closed his eyes. He felt the warmth of the sun on his face and the gentle breeze in his hair. He no longer needed to ask, "Who am I?" He knew the answer now. He was a part of everything, and everything was a part of him. He was connected to the earth, the sky, the stars, and the sea. As Aaron sat there, a tear rolled down his cheek. It was not a tear of sadness, but of joy. He felt a deep sense of gratitude for everything he had experienced, for the journey that had brought him to this moment. He knew that he would never forget this feeling, that it would stay with him forever. Just then, Lila, the little bird, flew down and perched on Aaron's shoulder. She chirped softly, as if to say, "I knew you would find the answer." Aaron smiled and gently stroked Lila's feathers. He felt a deep connection to Lila, just as he did to everything else. He realized that Lila had been with him all along, guiding him on his journey. As the sun began to set, Aaron knew it was time to return home. He stood up and looked around the garden one last time, taking in its beauty. He knew that he would carry this place in his heart forever. He started to walk back toward the tunnel, with Lila still perched on his shoulder. The journey had changed him, and he knew he would never be the same. When Aaron finally emerged from the tunnel, he found himself back in the forest. The path was still dark, but it no longer felt frightening. Aaron felt a sense of peace as he walked through the trees, knowing that he was connected to everything around him. The forest was not just a place, it was a part of him, just as he was a part of it. As Aaron walked back to the village, he thought about all the people he would see again, his family, his friends, and the old man who had given him the key. He knew that they were all a part of his journey, just as he was a part of theirs. He felt a deep sense of love and connection to them, and he couldn't wait to share his story. When Aaron finally reached the village, it was late at night. The village was quiet, and the stars were shining brightly in the sky. Aaron felt a sense of calm as he walked through the empty streets, knowing that he was home. He knew that he was not the same boy who had left the village that morning. He had found something precious on his journey. He had found himself. Aaron walked to his house and quietly opened the door. His mother and father were asleep, and the house was dark and silent. He tiptoed to his room and lay down on his bed, feeling the warmth and comfort of home. He closed his eyes, thinking about everything he had learned on his journey. He knew that he would never forget this day. As Aaron drifted off to sleep, he felt a deep sense of peace. He knew that he was not just a boy from a small village, but a part of something much bigger. He was connected to the world, to the universe, to everything. And he knew that he would carry this feeling with him for the rest of his life. He was no longer searching for answers because he had found them within himself. The next morning, Aaron woke up feeling refreshed and happy. He could hear the birds singing outside his window and the sound of the river flowing nearby. Everything felt alive and full of energy. Aaron smiled, remembering his journey and the answers he had found. He knew that today was a new day, a day filled with possibilities. Aaron decided to visit the old man who had given him the key. He wanted to thank him for helping him on his journey. As he walked through the village, he noticed how everything seemed different. The houses, the trees, the people, they all felt connected to him in a way they hadn't before. Aaron felt a deep sense of love for his village and everyone in it. When Aaron reached the old man's house, he knocked on the door. The old man opened it with a warm smile and invited Aaron inside. Aaron told him about his journey, about the tunnel, the garden, and the ocean. He told him about the voice that had spoken to him and the answer he had found. The old man listened carefully, nodding as Aaron spoke. When Aaron finished his story, the old man looked at him with kind eyes and said, "Aaron, you have learned something very important. You have found the truth within yourself. You are not just a boy, you are a part of everything, and everything is a part of you. This is a lesson that many people spend their whole lives trying to learn." Aaron felt a deep sense of gratitude toward the old man. He knew that without him, he might never have found the answer to his question. He thanked the old man and promised to always remember what he had learned. The old man smiled and said, "Remember, Aaron, the journey never ends. There is always more to discover, more to learn." As Aaron left the old man's house, he felt a sense of excitement. He knew that his journey was not over, that there were still many adventures ahead. But now he felt ready for anything. He knew who he was, and he knew that he was never alone. He had found his place in the world, and he was ready to embrace whatever came next. As the days passed, Aaron continued to live his life in the village. But something had changed within him. He was no longer the quiet, thoughtful boy who sat by the river, wondering who he was. He was confident, happy, and at peace. He knew that he was connected to everything around him, and that connection gave him strength. Aaron's friends and family noticed the change in him. They saw the light in his eyes and the smile on his face. They wondered what had happened to him, but Aaron just smiled and said, "I found myself." He knew that the journey he had taken was one that everyone must take in their own time. He knew that the answer was there for anyone who was willing to look within. One day, as Aaron was walking through the village, he saw a little girl sitting by the river. She looked sad and lost, just as he had once felt. Aaron sat down beside her and asked what was wrong. The little girl looked up at him with tear-filled eyes and said, "I don't know who I am." Aaron smiled and said, "I used to feel the same way, but I found the answer." The little girl looked at Aaron with hope in her eyes. She asked him how he had found the answer, and Aaron told her about his journey. He told her about the forest, the old man, the tunnel, and the garden. He told her about the ocean and the voice that had spoken to him. And he told her about the truth he had discovered, that she was a part of everything, and everything was a part of her. The little girl listened carefully to Aaron's story. When he finished, she smiled through her tears and said, "Thank you." Aaron smiled back and said, "Remember, the answer is always within you. You just have to look for it." The little girl nodded and wiped her tears away. She knew that she was not alone, that she was connected to everything around her. As Aaron walked away, he felt a sense of joy. He knew that the little girl would find her own answers, just as he had. He knew that she would take her own journey, and that it would be just as important as his own. Aaron felt a deep sense of peace, knowing that he had helped someone find their way, just as the old man had helped him. The years passed, and Aaron grew older. But he never forgot the lessons he had learned on his journey. He continued to live his life with love and kindness, always remembering that he was a part of everything. And as he grew older, he passed on his knowledge to others, helping them find their own answers, just as he had. And so, my dear friends, the story of Aaron comes to an end. But the lessons he learned live on. We are all a part of everything, and everything is a part of us. We are never alone, and we are always connected to the world around us. The answers we seek are always within us, waiting to be discovered. So, the next time you find yourself asking, "Who am I?" remember Aaron's journey and know that the answer is already within you.